All right, guys and girls. Good morning. My name is Justin Smith. I am from the NASA IV&V facility. So, who knew that there is a NASA facility 20 minutes down the road? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Like I said, my name is Justin. This is Jess White. He's going to talk to you guys a little bit later about internship opportunity. That's why you're all here, I'm assuming. And this is Jennifer Neptune as well. She's going to be helping take questions. We have some people joining us remotely. That's why you see the little webcam up in the corner and this Q&A box. So if somebody remotely were to ask us questions, we can answer those. So what you guys are here for is the first installment of what we're calling the NASA Speaker Series, hosted by NASA IV&V and the West Virginia Space Grant Consortium. What this is going to do is give you guys a whole lot of opportunities to listen in on different scientists and engineers' experiences at NASA centers all over the country, as well as some commercial industry partners we're looking to bring in for you guys. So it should be a really, really fun opportunity. Today, we're hosting from WVU. The next one is not going to be at WVU. So you guys, if you want to come to the next one, you'll be in a room just like this, and I'll be somewhere else. Or Jess will be somewhere else. Or whoever's talking that day will be somewhere else, whether it be West Virginia Tech, maybe we'll be at Marshall, who knows. That's between us and Dr. Dre to see where we're going to go next. But we're really looking forward to it. Any feedback you guys have for any of us would be well appreciated. Any way we can improve this program, the better. With that being said, first person I want to introduce is Caleb Rice, and he's going to start us off today with a little talk about all his different experiences through the West Virginia Space Grant Consortium. You guys are going to hear that word a lot today. I want to introduce you to the key people at the end of the presentation that you need to be talking to. He's going to go over his different experience he's had with them, as well as the NASA Ames internship experience. It was last summer, right, Caleb? Yes. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to bring up Caleb.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out this morning, and everybody tuning in as well. Thanks so much. My name is Caleb Rice. I'm a graduate in the Aerospace Engineering Department here at WVU, and I have been applying for the fellowship and research opportunities through the NASA SGC for the entirety of my academic career. This has opened up so many doors for me, and I'd like to just share my testimony here really quick. If you go to the first slide. So freshman year, my engineering advisor came. He's like, hey, there's a scholarship. Just write an essay and apply for it. I was like, okay, easy enough. And I wrote an essay and got $500, just like that. It was really easy. So, and then the next year, I went up to my physics teacher and I was like, hey, I find your astrophysics interesting. If there's anything I can do or learn, let me know. And he was like, I got a project for you, and there's a little bit of money available. Why don't you come do research for me? So I did, and my sophomore year, I wrote this paper, Steglo over Shepherd University. That was with Jason Best at Shepherd University, and we did a mapping of the light pollution above the observatory they have there. And so when I transferred from Shepherd to here, I got involved with the microgravity team and for a tech elective, and I asked if I can do class and research combined, and sure enough, they said yeah. So I applied for this fellowship. And for my junior and my senior year, I did 2 microgravity projects and was awarded the fellowship for that research as well. And then in the summer of 2012, I heard of this opportunity called the NASA Academy. And so I applied for that. It was a little more complicated than applying for the fellowship opportunity. So thankfully, Candy and Dr. Dre helped me out. And submitted for that, and they sent me out to California. And so I got to work with this. This is a NASA Whirlwind, and we put the GUI on top of it, this overlay that helped us with navigation in Alaska. And we went down to Edwards Air Force Base, and we went to SpaceX, and it was an excellent adventure. But before I get to that, please, next slide. Thank you. These are some of the teams I was on. This is my second year microgravity team. This is my NASA Ames internship team. And then this is the team I'm working with now with our fixed wing aircraft that we've been working on. The majority of the guys in my class and on my research team were also funded through this program. And a couple of guys here in the team that I'm working with now are also funded. So, I mean, it's an opportunity for everybody. It's the West Virginia Space Grant Consortium. They want to support everybody who's interested in this. It's a wonderful program. Next slide, please. So that's my involvement with the fellowship. This is my internship. Like I said, they shipped us out everywhere. At the Edwards Air Force Base, we saw a wing body, we saw a vertical takeoff aircraft. We flew out to Langley and we saw the drop test facility. There's a lot of CFD and wind tunnel testing that we saw at Ames. Out in the desert, we saw blended wing bodies. I mean, they didn't hold back. We got to see it all. We did it all. We made sailplanes and sailed it off the bay. And I mean, it was just an all-inclusive experience of if anybody's interested in engineering and physics, astrobiology, any science at all, you know, you could probably find it through this program, and they're willing to support you. Next slide, please. Just final word is the opportunity is there, and the application, I encourage you to just go online, look at it, start applying. It's really easy. The biggest challenge, I think, is going to be the writing, but I can't write worth a lick. You know, it's not all you. You can ask somebody to proofread. You can ask for support, and with the team aspect, you can work as a team and work on this initial application and then the final report as well. You guys, it's not a solo thing, you know. Engineering, we all gotta support each other. And then, as a visual, these were all the internships that came in same week as I. We took a big group photo, and there were even more internships while we were there. So, like I said, the opportunities are there. There's a lot of potential. You want to do this? I encourage you strongly to take a hold of this opportunity. And I hope that our webcam members can read some of these, but there's so many subjects that you can get in on. We talked about zombies, cosmic biology. We talked about satellite design, communications. We talked about education, tilt rotor. I mean, like everything under the sun. It was amazing, amazing 5-6 years now. And I look forward to continue on this venture. So thank you very much for listening to me.
All right, the next person I want to introduce is Justine Schultz. So Justine, if you can come up, please. She's going to tell you guys a little bit about space. So I've just recently learned about this program back at the beginning of the semester, or last fall semester, and been trying to come to some of the meetings, and I really, really find this stuff interesting. So.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Justine Schultz. For those who don't know, I'm the president of SPACE, which is an acronym for the Student Partnership for the Advancement of Cosmic Exploration. So basically what that means, and our main objective is advancing cosmic exploration, just like it sounds. So a couple main ways that we try to advance that is through outreach and research. SPACE gets involved on a couple of research projects, which includes RASCAL and Lunabotics. And then we also get involved in a lot of research, or outreach to the community. So we try to give back and get students involved. Our biggest one being SPOT. We just started that this upcoming year, and that's the Space Public Outreach Team. So through the NASA grant office, they were able to help funding, and we were able to get training to, I think, over 20 students now in order to learn presentations that are pre-made for us that we go out among West Virginia State and distribute to schools that don't get the opportunity to learn about space and how neat it actually is. Our main goal, obviously, is to introduce students to space and get younger students that are in elementary, middle school, high school involved in STEM fields. So a couple other opportunities that the NASA grant office offers for us through space is they connect the students with research opportunities. So me personally, I didn't know what kind of research was going on at West Virginia University. And in order to apply to a lot of the scholarships, you have to have some sort of research background. So through the office, I was able to talk to the right people, and they connected me to professors so I could get that opportunity and those skills behind me in order to apply for scholarships to help me through college and get that experience that every career is going to look for. Another thing is internships. Of course, through space, we work a lot with the office, so they're able to get to know us on a first-name basis, on a face-to-face basis. So when it comes to applying for scholarships and internships, they know who you are, they know your character, and they really do help you get your foot in the door and get that first step, because the first job is usually going to be the hardest one. And then scholarship opportunities, of course. There's a lot of scholarship opportunities, there's fellowship opportunities for research. So I do highly, highly suggest that you guys get involved. I know everyone says it, but there's way, way too many opportunities to pass by, and space does work a lot with them, and they give a lot back to us as the students. They're definitely here for us, and they want to make sure that we give back to the community and we get as much out of our college curriculum and our career as we can while we're here. Does anyone have any questions about space and what they do and what the office does for us?
How can they join space? You have a web page for space?
We do have a web page for space. It is studentsforspace.org. I can get them to send that out for you. We send out emails to people that are here at West Virginia University through the Mechanical and Aerospace Department. We send one out about 2 times a semester through Dave Solly. You'll receive something like that. And then once you're actually on the mailing list, which you can do by emailing space.president@gmail.com, which I can give you guys the contact information for that. Once you're on the mailing list, we send out emails bi-weekly, and we have meetings bi-weekly. So our first meeting will be next Thursday in this exact room at 8 p.m. Also, for people that are tuning in at different organizations, there's other chapters of space. If you guys don't have a chapter, please talk to the NASA grant office, and then they can help you get one started and help recruiting, because it's an amazing opportunity to have.
What type of projects did you guys do with space like recently?
So our 2 big projects, I would have to say, would be Rascal, which is it's a design project, and what it is we take a bunch of students and design a fake mission to space. So I think that you want to team here? What are you guys working on?
This year we're doing an outpost station that's going to be in orbit around the Lagrange point L2. That's going to work with samples from space.
So they're projects that aren't, we don't physically build them, but we design every aspect from takeoff to like building construction. We go over fiscal costs, we go over timelines, we go over everything, and we write a giant proposal, and if it is accepted, we head down and present that in a competition. So there's awards for students that have the most realistic, the most creative, and they're really looking for innovative design. So for people to really think outside the box. One of the years we did a project where we sent people to an asteroid, and then we were trying to send samples back, and a different group, which didn't win, came up with a giant catapult idea, and they were just going to catapult things back. So they're just looking for really innovative, I mean, that's probably not the best example, but really definitely out there thinking. We want people to be creative. We want people to really problem solve in a unique way. Is there any other questions I can answer? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Justin.
So the next person I want to introduce to you is Jess White. He is our internship coordinator at NASA IV&V, and he is going to talk to you guys about what I think most of you are here to hear about is NASA internships. Not only with us at IV&V, but NASA centers all over the country. So thanks, Jess.
So opportunities at NASA abound for students. Regardless if you're a WU or if you're not even in this country, NASA solicits opportunities for students year-round through a variety of opportunities, through a variety of mechanisms. I want to tell you about one of those, but first let me back up just a little bit. Again, my name is Jess White. I'm an education specialist for NASA, have been so for roughly the last 8 years, but the primary focus of my efforts at NASA has been in regards to bringing up the next generation of interns for NASA. So I've started with it, working with high school students, having internship opportunities at NASA, and then we worked our way up to college. So obviously you guys are college students, we're going to talk about that today. So obviously our title slide is the NASA IV&V. We're ready to get the acronym out for you. Program internships. We're going to talk about college internships. Next slide, please. So what is IV&V? Can anybody quickly tell me what IV&V does? I saw some hands up earlier. Okay. Real quick, our primary focus is work on the agency's mission critical software. So we look at that software and we're going to try to make it safer. So approximately 300 people at the IV&V program do this every day. They try to make NASA software safe. What is mission critical? Well, there's a whole process to determine that, and that's another topic. We report directly to 2 different organizations. We report to headquarters, to the Office of Safety and Mission Assurance for our technical efforts, and then administratively, we report to Goddard Space Flight Center. So for example, Jennifer, Justin, and myself, we're Goddard Space Flight Center employees, but we're a facility or a detachment, if you will, of Goddard Space Flight Center. Next slide. So what else does IV&V do? Well, as I said, opportunities abound worldwide and within our nation, but within our state, our educational outreach opportunities abound as well. We offer free training and resources for educators. We offer free opportunities for students, regardless of your age, to find out more about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Specific content that's pretty popular right now is our robotics programs, our aeronautics programs, our engineering and rocketry programs. But again, our topic is college internships. Next slide, please. So where is IV&V? In Fairmont, as Justin alluded to earlier, it's about 20 minutes south of here, the South Fairmont exit. If you ever been to the technology park, if you look for the pink or salmon colored building with a rocket out front, that's the NASA IV&V program. We actually are housed in another building in that park as well. But if you find the rocket, you found NASA. I think we have a video next, correct?
Let's make sure we got sound in there.
Back in 2004, was the first year I started as a NASA intern here at the IV&V facility. It was my first chance to actually work with engineers, learn about what NASA does. It inspired me to want to go into engineering. The reason I wanted to come back for future years and interns was the people that I worked with. I had a great set of mentors. The reason I do the mentoring is I like getting involved with the students and giving them an opportunity to learn some of the things I've learned being here. It's great to see them learning. I learn right along with them. I'm learning new things as well. They teach me just as much as I teach them.
I'm Tori Snyder, and I'm a high school intern here at.
My name is Ricky Forker. I am a
And I actually started the internship on one of the
software engineer here at NASA IV&V. Back in 2004 was the first year I started as a NASA. Intern here at the IV&V facility. It was my first chance to actually work with real engineers in a professional environment. and just
And we'll be going over that link here in just a moment. Okay, so next slide, please. So the video talked a lot about our high school internship opportunities, but that's not the total case. A lot of those high school students are mentored by college students and by mentors. So we have a lot of tiered programs where a college student will be on a project with a mentor with overseeing perhaps a high school student. So you may find yourself as a college intern at NASA gaining some additional skills in regards to leadership. So it's kind of a cool opportunity for students. We have two types of college interns. We have summer only and we have year round. Some quick details about both. Our summer only college internships is a 10-week program. It usually occurs right after Memorial Day every year and runs until the first week of August. So it's a 10-week program. Last summer and historically, we've hired 5 students. This summer, I'm happy to announce we're up to 9. We're looking for 9 students this summer. And it is a compensated program. Year-round students. The year-round dates vary. So it depends on who graduates when and if we have funding to supply another student for that next cycle. So the dates vary, so you have to watch the website we're going to talk about here in a few moments for those opportunities. Typically, we select 5 students each cycle, so those positions are recompeted at each cycle, and that is also a compensated program. Next slide, please. So why would I want to be a NASA intern? So there's some obvious things on the face that look really cool, but here's a few things that you may have not thought of. The things that look cool on the face value is just getting to work with cutting edge technologies. That's some things that we all want to do, especially engineering students. You want to build something, you want to engage quickly, especially with those who are building cutting edge technology. But the opportunity itself will propel your career. It'll propel what we call your STEM career, your science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, in a variety of ways. You can add to your resume, obviously. You can add to your LinkedIn page. And you can get references. You can get references from your mentors, from myself, which can really bode well regardless of where you go in the future. And it's paid. Obviously, especially high school students ask that question. Do I get paid? If I'm going to lose my pool pass for the summer, what's going to happen? So do I get paid? So college students, that goes for you as well. Next slide. We encourage a variety of disciplines. My audience today is engineering, but it goes beyond that. We hire what we call our administrative staff and our technical staff, our admin staff, who can do a variety of duties, everything from budgetary to education. There's a whole gamut of opportunities, but we'll cover some of the technology things today. Aerospace, computer, electrical, mechanical, we get even into robotic-specific things. Technology, we get into computer science, electronics, and the list goes on. So don't limit yourself, or if you know of other students who would be a good candidate, regardless of their discipline, let them know about the opportunity we're going to talk about, or the how to apply in a few moments. Next slide, please. Specific project titles. Some of these are quite lengthy. I'm going to let you take a few moments to look at those. I'm not going to read them word for word, but some of them are quite lengthy. And they're all supporting that IV&V mission of making NASA's mission-critical software safe. So these are just examples of high school and college level projects that students have worked on in the past. I believe Jacqueline's up next, correct? Jacqueline was one of our recent interns, and she's here to tell you a little bit about a project she worked on last summer. Jacqueline?
Thank you, Jess. Like you said, my name is Jacqueline Hoff, and I'm a senior in mechanical and aerospace engineering, and I worked with them this past summer at the IV&V facility. Next slide, please. And I know this might seem confusing. This is what we presented, because at the end of the summer program, we have to present to the engineers and analysts of what we did all summer. So my project I worked on last summer was RView, and RView stands for Robotics Virtual Interactive Evaluation and Understanding. And it's kind of just like a fancy way to say, like, there's a 3D simulation that we had to create, and we wanted to test and see the software, because IV&V is all about software assurance. So we wanted to see like a 3D virtual way to test the software on current missions at the facility. So our mission we were given was OSIRIS-REx. Does anyone know what OSIRIS-REx is? What is it, Jared?
A few minutes.
Okay, OSIRIS-REx is a mission where they're going to travel to a near-Earth asteroid, map out its surface, and then collect the sample to return to Earth for further study. And then once we were given the assumptions and requirements of this mission, then we had to create the flight software that would go into this whole spacecraft. So we created a user interface, the flight software, and the mechanical simulation. And in the program, we just created a user interface that would be like ground control, just on any mission. And then we created like the cameras and the motors and the sensors on it, and it would read out telemetry data that would actually be like real time. And then once everything was implemented into the Blender program, we brought in CAD models, we brought in just requirements and assumptions that the IV&V analysts gave us. And then that's the whole like Blender game engine, is the whole functionality of the whole mission. And I know that might sound confusing, but it was just like testing the software on this supposed mission and checking to see if everything with the sequences was in check. And even though like at the end of the program, our software did not reveal all its capabilities when we wanted it to, it still sparked like the analyst's mind, and like they were very interested in it because no one at IV&V has ever done like a 3D modeling for the software of the spacecraft. So that's what made like I guess my internship so surreal, is like you're actually doing a project that like sparks engineers' mind that's been working there for so long, and it's not just projects that are a waste of your time. It's projects that like challenge you intellectually, and it's just like a different kind of experience. And working with the space grant was it was so crazy. Like thank you, Dr. Girardi and Candy, because with the space grant, I seriously was just walking down the hall one day, and I was like, what is this place? And I looked, and it was a space grant construction office. And I just walked in, and I was like, hi, my name's Jacqueline Hobbs, and I really have always wanted to work at NASA, and I was wondering what opportunities you guys had. And Candy was like, well, do you have a resume? And I gave her my resume, and then, like, just a couple weeks later, I found out that I was getting an internship at the IV&V facility that I never even heard of before, because no one in Southern West Virginia knows where it is. And then Jess called me, and I like screamed my head off onto him on the phone because I was so excited getting an internship. And I mean, that's how it happened. Like, I can't stress enough that the opportunities are there. You just have to take the initiative to just make it. Like, I mean, there's just like money laying around, and just, I mean, okay, that might be different. But it's just there's opportunities, and I mean, if anything, like, it was just crazy how I just walked in the office and just got this internship. And I mean, this was very software intensive, and I had little experience in it before. And then once I got there, everyone at NASA is just so helpful. If I had any questions, I just walk up somebody's cube and be like, I'm so confused. And they would just be like, okay, I'll try to help you. So, I mean, they're just so nice, and just working with analysts like that, and just, like, you can tell that NASA actually cares that you're learning, and it's just not a waste of your time.
Good job. Great job. Do we have any questions for Jacqueline? Just 1 minute per question. Do you have any questions about our experience?
Okay, thank
Feel free
you.
So yeah, Jacqueline's story was, of the 300 students I've hired now, the most memorable, because I called her and she was in class, obviously nervous about leaving class, and then I told her, and then the screaming began. And my cube mate, who sits across the wall, heard it and said, "What's going on? Is your wife hurt?" It was quite intense. Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, so what do you do now? So how do you get to where Jacqueline was? So the website that I keep alluding to is called intern.nasa.gov, and it's basically a portal for all of NASA's jobs, especially if you're an intern. If you're looking for a fellowship or a scholarship, it's also a place to go. But for internships, and that's today's topic, you're going to go to intern.nasa.gov. Now, this system is about 3 years old. It's a relatively new system. You'll find some challenges here to there. So at the end of this presentation, you'll be left with my contact information as well as Mr. Smith's contact information. If you have any questions about the program or the website, feel free to call, because that's what we're there for. We'll help you walk through the application process. But essentially, you're going to create an account. And everybody's created username and password accounts. This system's a little bit unique. You have to create a user profile. If you don't have your user profile complete, you cannot apply for jobs. Once you have your profile there, you can apply for up to 15 NASA positions each term. So summer, spring, and fall, you can apply for 15 unique opportunities. This summer at IV&V, we're going to have 17 opportunities listed on Austin NIPS on this site. I just threw out an acronym, I'm sorry. OSSI is a one-stop shopping initiative. NIFS is NASA Internships, Fellowships, and Scholarships. So the agency, if you hear people talk about Aussie NIFS, that's what they're talking about. More commonly, I just call it intern.nasa.gov because that's a little bit easier to say and people write it down when I'm talking. So that's what we're looking for. So register, get an account. Regardless if you're interested in applying today or 10 years from now, get that account created and your profile up to date so that you can start applying. Because in Jacqueline's situation, she found out about an opportunity and she had to run through all those hoops real quick to apply for a job. So it was a little bit challenging. So I encourage any student, whether you're really, really interested right now or not, go get that account ready and you can start monitoring, watching for jobs.
Jeff,
Yes, ma'am.
we have a question online.
Yes.
In regards to the summer internships, if you live outside the state, do you have to commute and to and from the center, or is housing provided nearby?
Great question. Do I need to repeat the question?
I'm going to post it online.
Okay.
So, no.
The answer to that question is we do not provide housing. It is a compensated program, so therefore you're expected to establish housing in some way. So if you are out of state, and we have hired students from Purdue, we've hired students from UNLV. It's not uncommon to get students from outside of our local commuting radius. But that student is required to set up housing somehow, some way. Now I do assist, I do have somewhat of an agreement with Fairmont State University you can stay in the dorm, which is roughly 5 miles away. You still have to commute in and out of downtown Fairmont to the South Fairmont exit. We can do that much for you. I can at least give you a phone number. I can't really negotiate terms of cost, any of that kind of stuff. You'll have to do that on your own. So I can provide you a phone number essentially and help you get started that way, or you can hit Craigslist up for apartment rentals. I'm sorry?
United States citizenship.
Okay, the question was, what are the basic requirements? We're going to cover those in just a moment, if you don't mind. Another question online, do I need to answer it now?
No, I was adding to your answer.
Thank you. All right, next slide, please. So you go back to, thank you.
Yeah.
Another way to apply, and another opportunity that Jacqueline just told us about, was to use a space grant. And this slide is basically provided by the space grant for you. So you can apply any way you want, but if you want to supplement your application or find an advocate here at West Virginia University or at another space grant, you can use our West Virginia space grant to apply. They'll help you in any way they can. For example, in Jacqueline's case, they provided funding in that situation, but they may not always have funding, but at least they'll help you. They'll point you in the right direction. They'll look at your resume. They'll provide advice on how to apply for NASA internships. So in other words, they're an advocate for you, and use them. Mr. Girardi, do you want to add anything to that?
This is perfect. Anytime you want to stop by Candy, just wonderful help.
Okay.
Please feel free anytime.
Dr. Girardi just said, if you, again, he just reiterated what I said, if you need help, please stop by and see Candy Cordwell. Okay, next slide, please. I think we're on the basic eligibility requirements. Okay, so to work at the NASA IV&V program, you need to be a U.S. citizen. You'll be going through background investigation checks. You will be badged employee, so there's some basic things at the agency level that you have to meet. So unfortunately, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you cannot be selected. You can apply, but you cannot be selected. Getting through that background investigation, you'll hit a roadblock. In fact, on Aussie NIFs, if you list yourself as a non-U.S. citizen, I believe it'll stop you at that point too. You must be enrolled in a college or university. As an undergraduate, graduate, or higher level degrees, you have to be enrolled at a university. So when you apply, when you fill out your profile, you're going to be filling out that kind of information on Aussie NIFs. And you need to have a 3.0 on a scale of 4.0 to apply. So if you are hovering close to that 3.0 threshold, try to do your best to get up above that 3.0, and then you can apply. The system will shut you down if you're below that 3.0 marker. Next slide, please. So when to create. Now, I alluded to this earlier. Create your account now. Do it anytime. Do it now. That way you have it. You're ready to go in case an opportunity was to come available. For example, our summer opportunities right now are out on Aussie NIFs. You might want to write this down. The deadline to apply is March 1st at this point. When you create your account, when you go in Aussie NIFs, you're going to do it. There's a lot of search features, but if you just type in IV&V and search, you'll see all our opportunities. When you do your search, do not select disciplines. Leave the disciplines blank because then it doesn't limit you as far as what the search yields. So our opportunity, we try to leave that neutral to where all students will see our opportunities. And if you have that correct discipline match, then you can apply. So write those two things down, March 1st, and then leave disciplines blank when you do a search. A general rule of thumb is when our opportunities are posted are 6 months out. So for our summer opportunities, you can look for them around the December timeframe for those to be posted, and you can begin applying. So the agency gives you 3 months to apply for those opportunities. There's a lot of steps involved. There's steps. Letters of recommendation need to be uploaded from whoever's recommending you to the site. They don't. Whoever's recommending you doesn't hand you a letter of recommendation. Actually, upload it to the site. There's a lot of steps involved with getting an application out, but don't let that intimidate you. But what we're finding out is that a lot of people who do letters of recommendation prefer to do that anyways. That way they're not handing off a letter of recommendation to a student. They're just uploading it and they're done with it, just like a file upload. And we have sessions spring, summer, fall, and year round. Now, let me back up. At IV&V right now, we do not have spring and fall opportunities. We have year round and summer. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. At other NASA locations, you will find specific opportunities unique to the semester you're in. So also keep your Aussie NIFs account up to date and watch for those opportunities. In regards to the housing question that was online, some NASA centers and programs do offer housing depending on where they are. At Ames, did you have housing?
We had housing.
Yeah. Depending on the situation and funding and how the program was written, it may be possible.
JPL does.
JPL. I know Langley does. So it just depends on where you're going. So watch for those opportunities. Next slide. Okay, this is the slide where you can find Justin and I's contact information. If you're here, jot down that information. And now's a good time for questions too. And Justin, how are we doing on time? Are we okay?
Yep, just check.
Yes, ma'am.
For the year-round opportunities, is that something a full-time student at West Virginia University could do in addition to their coursework? Like as a part-time job kind of deal? How does that work?
Well, do I need to repeat the question? Okay. The answer to that question is discretionary. It's up to you to decide that. We have 5 year-round students right now. Some of them are from West Virginia University in the engineering program. So they balance that based off their course load. Now, they're working 8 to 10 hours a week on average. Some of them, they work more based off of what their course load looks like. When class is out of session, for example, during the summer, spring break, or a fall break or winter break, they can work up to 40 hours a week, and many of them do. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Any questions online? Any questions online? Jacqueline, do you have anything else you want to add?
I'm actually really very encouraging one.
Yeah, you did good. Jacqueline had fun. The last group of students we hosted at IV&V. Jacqueline was over 2 high school students and worked with the college students. It was a very unique project. So hopefully that opportunity will be available again this summer. So have you looked for it yet? Not yet? All right. You got to get out there and look for it. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Are these all internship opportunities, or is there any like co-op opportunities as well?
A co-op opportunity with NASA would not fall within this purview. Co-op opportunities you will find on USA Jobs. Now, a co-op opportunity typically requires a billet or a government position to be available upon your exit of the co-op. So that gets into some human resources and some planning efforts that OSSINIFS doesn't cover. So an organization who's going to hire a co-op would have the foresight or the employment forecast to know that, hey, we're going to need this position. So a lot of co-ops you see at NASA, which there's not a lot. I mean, there are enough to seek them out, so don't let me discourage you. But those positions will graduate into a full-time position. Okay. Going once. Okay, I think we're good. All right, thank you, everybody.
Well, again, thanks to everyone for coming today. Dr. Grady or Candy, would you like to say anything?
Well, one thing is, most of you are freshmen, right? Don't get intimidated by all this stuff. I mean, all the people, all the kids that we have had throughout our system that they started freshmen, right? So, I don't know, most of you are freshmen, right? Or wrong? Oh, okay, so the rest of you are not freshmen. So please, just apply, and if you're a good student, there are all kinds of doesn't mean that you're going to get admitted to this program. No, it's highly selective program, right? You know that. They're highly selective. But then, if you're part of the family, if Candy knows you, there are all kinds of other opportunities like various programs that we have in this building.
Oh, I'm just coming up so we can. I
Like this is Candy. Right? There are all kinds of opportunities, and just stop by every time that you go to say, "Hi, Candy," and then she'll find something for you. Right? Don't get intimidated. There are opportunities if you're a good student. If you really want to go all the way, she's your person, right? Across from bits and bytes. And we are really proud of the fact that we are partnering with our NASA family, and we are all in the same business, the same boat. And we have been working together for, God knows, for a long time, and hopefully we'll be able to continue working with them and doing stuff together. And we appreciate really that you're providing such opportunities for our students. This is great. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Can we fix the camera?
I'm just checking.
All right. Jennifer would like to say something real quick.
So if you are interested in what NASA's doing, and you know, maybe some of you follow NASA on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, IV&V has Facebook and Twitter accounts. Just go to our website, get on NASA and search for IV&V. You can't miss us. But also, does anybody in the room know what GPM stands for? NASA mission, Global Precipitation Measurement. It launches February 27th, and we'll be having a launch watch event in Fairmont. You all are welcome to join us. February 27th, 5th floor of the building that you can drive through down there in Fairmont. So our pink building is to the right of the buildings that you're looking at, 2 towers, and on the very top floor. We'll be starting around noon. Launch is scheduled to go at 1:07 p.m. It launches from Japan at 3 a.m. So come on down, hang out with us, watch the launch. Hopefully it won't be scrubbed, but we'd like to see you there. It's open to the public. Anybody can come, tell your friends, have a party if you don't have class, whatever. Yeah, that building right there with the 2 towers.
All right.
And I'll be around for a few moments. I understand Justin and Jennifer are going to go do big stuff with Maddie, right? And I'll be around for a few minutes if you want to chat with me. And I have some